Welcome back,
students.
my dear
hope that
students.
all of you are fine.
I
and
hope
healthy.
that all of you are fine and healthy.
Everyone knows that
Students,
nowadays
as
it's a
everyone
very
knows
difficult
that
situation
it's a
for
very
our
difficult situation for our country due to the outbreak of this coronavirus. So it's my earnest request to all of you to stay inside your home. So students, please stay inside your home to be safe and healthy. And students, as you know that it's summer season, so please drink lots of water to be lively, to be energetic, and to be safe and healthy. Students, we are continuing this chapter or this story, Wonderful Waste, from your class 5 English NCERT book. Wonderful Waste is a story where we get the lesson or where we get the idea that how the waste materials can be reused wonderfully. It is the story where the cook reused the waste vegetable scraps to make a delicious dish. So students, in the previous video, I gave you one reference to context and I asked you to answer the questions. Now it's the time to discuss the answers with you. So, today I shall discuss those answers. So, the 3-number reference to context was, everyone was eager to know the name of the new dish. 3-number reference to context was, everyone was eager to know the name of the new dish. A-number question. Mention the source of the above quoted line. The source of the above quoted line is the story Wonderful Waste. Students, I already told you that in any reference to context, the first question might be to identify the source. So, here also the first question was to identify the source. The source might be a poem or a story, but here in this context, the source is the story Wonderful Waste. Now it's the time to discuss the answers or the answer of B number question. B number question, as I told you, that B number question is going to be a little bit tricky. So why did I say that B number question is going to be a little bit tricky? Just have a look. B number question was, why was everyone eager to know the name of the new dish? This is the question, and the answer of this question is not written directly in your textbook. You have to use your brain to answer the question. And now I know that my students have already written this answer, but it's the time to discuss the answer. Everyone was eager to know the name of the new dish because the new dish was very delicious. Everyone admired the new dish, but no one knew the name of the new dish. Finally, the cook named it Avial. So students, here everyone means the guests who ate the new dish, and the guests became impatient and the guests became eager to know the name of the new dish because the new dish was the new dish was too tasty, or the new dish was very tasty and very delicious. The guests didn't have any idea about the name. So they were eager to know the name of the new dish. C number question. How did the cook prepare the new dish? Answer. First of all, the cook washed and cleaned all the vegetable scraps. Then he cut the vegetable scraps into long stripes. He put those vegetable scraps in a huge pot and placed it on fire. He ground some fresh coconut green chilies and garlic together and added this paste and some salt to the cooking vegetables. Finally, he added some curd to the curry and the new dish was ready. So, this is the process how the cook prepared the new dish. When did the cook serve the new dish to the guests? The cook served the new dish to the guests in the evening. Yes, the cook served the new dish to the guests in the evening. And the new dish was avial. And in the answer of C number question, you will get that how the cook followed each and every step very carefully and made the wonderful dish avial, and this dish became one of the famous dish of Kerala. So now it's the time to answer another questions. In the previous video, I also gave you one more question to solve. Find out prepositions from the story Wonderful Waste. Conjunctions today I shall discuss, but first of all, the prepositions. So the prepositions that I get from the story Wonderful Waste: of, in, to, at. You might get another or some more prepositions from this story Wonderful Waste. You can add your answers also. No problem for that. And the one and only conjunction that I get from this story Wonderful Waste is and. So, find out prepositions and conjunctions. Here are your answers. So, after this one, now it's the time to discuss something new. So, what can be the new one? Can anyone guess? Yes, the new one will be the discussion of new textual grammar. Textual grammar, as everyone knows, that the grammar that we have to do from our text. So, while making you learn the story or while making you understand the story Wonderful Waste, I decided to discuss parts of speech. We have already discussed nouns, pronouns, verbs, adverbs, adjectives, prepositions. So I hope that my students are very intelligent. They have already guessed or they have already understood that what can be today's topic for textual grammar. Yes, today's topic is going to be conjunction. The first topic is conjunction and the second one will be interjections. Okay, so conjunctions. What are conjunctions? Conjunction is not the new thing that you are learning for the first time. You learnt this thing in previous classes also. So, the very easiest idea about conjunctions that comes to our mind listening the word conjunction is that conjunctions are joining words. Yes, in very simple words I can say that conjunctions are joining words. Now the definition: a conjunction is basically a part of speech that connects sentences, phrases or clauses together. Types of conjunction. There are basically three types of conjunction: coordinating conjunctions, subordinating conjunctions, and correlative conjunctions. Students, please have a look here. Correlative conjunction. The spelling of correlative will be double R. Okay, in the next slide you will get that spelling also. Correlative will be double R. CORRELATIV. So conjunction, a conjunction is basically a part of speech that connects sentences, phrases or clauses together. What are sentences? You know, phrases, group of words, and clauses. So what can be clauses? So before discussing the types of conjunctions in detail, I shall give you a little bit idea about the clause. So conjunctions are joining words. We use conjunctions to join or connect sentences, phrases, or clauses. Types of conjunctions, three types: coordinating, subordinating, and correlative conjunctions. Now just look at another slide. A conjunction is a word which connects two words or clauses or sentences or phrases and shows the relation between them. So a conjunction not merely joins the sentences or words, it also shows the relation between those words or those sentences. They are used to, they are means conjunctions are used to avoid making the text seem like bullet points. So conjunctions are used to avoid making the text bullet like points and to make the text flow. Types of conjunctions. Coordinating conjunction. Coordinating conjunctions used to link or join two words or phrases that are equally important and complete in terms of grammar when compared with each other. So coordinating conjunctions are used to join words or phrases. For example, for, and, nor, but, or, wait, soon. Here you will get this one, that fanboys. These are just the shortest name for the examples, like F for for, A from, and, N from, nor, B from, but, like this. Subordinating conjunctions are used to join an independent and complete clause with a dependent clause that relies on the main clause for meaning and relevance. For example, although, as. And correlative, they join the words. Now before giving a detailed giving you a detailed discussion of the types of conjunctions, I should discuss you something about clause, because clause is the thing that you are listening, I think, for the first time. So you just need to know a little bit about the clause. In higher classes you will learn more about clause. So what is a clause? By definition, a clause is a group of words. Yes, a clause is also a group of words that contains a subject and a predicate. And in the predicate, there you will get the verb also. So clause is a group of words that contains a subject and a predicate. There are two categories of clauses: independent or main clause, dependent or subordinate clause. Independent means that doesn't depend upon anyone or anything, and dependent means that depends. So independent or main clause is a clause that is a sentence on its own, that doesn't depend upon anyone or anything. And dependent or subordinate means, dependent or subordinate clause is a clause that needs to be joined with an independent clause. It means that dependent or subordinate clause depends upon the main clause. Now we will discuss everything in detail. Coordinating conjunctions. Coordinating conjunctions are used to link or join two words or phrases that are equally important and complete in terms of grammar when compared with each other. The sentence or words do not depend on anything to give themselves a meaning. So the sentence or the sentences or words do not depend upon or do not depend on anything to make a meaning. For example, for, the meaning of for here: because I told her to leave for I was very tired. And meaning, in addition to, I like football and I like hockey. Nor, and not. Nor means and not. I have neither done the dishes nor the laundry. But means however. She is 85 but still goes swimming every day. Or means either. I will eat either a hamburger or a hot dog. wet, but the weather was cold, wet, bright, and sunny. So, therefore, it was still painful, so I went to see a doctor. These conjunctions are always placed between the two clauses or words that they are joining. Yes. Fanboys, I already discussed that F from for, A from and, N from nor, B from but, O from or, Y from yet, and S from so. Now, subordinating conjunctions. Subordinating conjunctions used to join an independent and complete clause with a dependent clause. That means subordinating conjunctions used to join independent clause with the dependent clause that relies on the main clause. As I have already said, that dependent clause depend upon the main clause for making any meaning and relevance, and subordinating conjunctions comes before the dependent clause, but the dependent clause itself can be placed either ahead of or following the independent clause. Examples. Soon after moving to London, she got a new job, although he decided to go, although I begged him not to. As, you can go first as you are the oldest. As soon as I saw her, I knew there was something wrong. Because, we can't go to Julia's party because we are going away that weekend. Before, you should always wash your hands before meals. By the time, I thought you would be done by this time. Even if you apologize, she still may not forgive you. Even though he left school at 16, he still managed to become prime minister. If she hadn't called, I wouldn't have known. In case, bring a map in case you get lost. That means if you do not bring a map, you will not be allowed to go to the trip. Okay, now the correlative conjunctions. Correlative conjunctions are simply pairs of conjunctions used in a sentence to join different words or groups of words in a sentence together. They are generally not used to link sentences themselves. Instead, they link two or more words of equal importance with the sentence itself. So, correlative conjunctions join the words. They are generally not used to link sentences. They are used to link the words. Examples. Both and. This house is both large and cozy. Either or. Either you will eat your dinner or you will go to bed. Just as so. Just as I love films, so does my brother love sports. Neither nor. He is neither employed nor looking for a job. Not only but also. Both not only the house is your 20 pounds but also raise your 30 pounds. Whether or, I am going to help you whether you like it or not. No sooner than. I no sooner lie to you than strangle a puppy. I would no sooner lie to you than strangle a puppy. Hardly when. I had hardly sat down for dinner when the phone rang. If that is the case, then I am not surprised about what is happening. Rather than, she would rather play than. Now, interjections. Look at the sentences. Hooray! I have passed the exam. Now, just another sentence. Wow! That's really great news. Just look at the words that are written with or that are highlighted. So here highlighted words are hooray and wow. And after hooray and wow, you will get or you can see one sign. What was the sign? The sign is the exclamation sign. So exclamation sign we use whenever we express any emotion. So what are interjections? An interjection is a word that expresses your emotions, your feelings. So an interjection is a word that expresses emotions and feelings. Just look at the pictures. the papers are falling down. That's why maybe the girls are shouting, ouch, yuck. Maybe something is fallen down from the box. That's why the boy is saying, oh no. And you can also see that here also, just after the highlighted words, you will get the exclamation sign. And we use exclamation sign to whenever we express our emotions or feelings. So interjection is that parts of speech which we can use while expressing our emotions or feelings. So now I will show you something more about interjection. So what can be that? Can anyone guess? The definition of interjection we already discussed. Now something more. Yes, some more examples. Interjections are small words that bear no grammatical connection with the sentence in which they are used. Yes. Interjections are those small words that do not have any grammatical connection with the sentence in which they are used. They express the emotions or sentiments of the speaker or convey the hesitation or protest. They are usually followed by an exclamation mark. I have already discussed. Now the examples. Ah, meaning exclamation of fear. Example, oh, the monsters got me. The monsters has got me. Again, oh, realization or acceptance. Oh, now I see what you mean. Oh, something sweet or cute. Oh, just look at that kitten. Bingo. Acknowledge something is right. Bingo. That's exactly what we were looking for. Yeah. Question something. So that was all she said. Yeah. Yeah. Something disgusting. Yeah. That movie was so gory. Humph. To indicate displeasure. Humph, I could do that for half the amount he charged. Oh, it means I see or think. Oh, it has been around a week since I saw her. It has been around a week since I saw her. Oops, making a mistake. Oops, sorry, I didn't see those things. Now here are some more types of sentences, or these are the words. Sorry, here are some more types of interjections. Here you will get those words that we use while expressing our different types of emotions. These are those interjections, types of interjections. Doubt, ear, while expressing doubt. While expressing pity, dear, alas. Realization, aha, oh. Disapproval, tusk, tut, tut. Irritation, humph, hoo, hey, oi. Panic, help, ah, oh. Dismay, oh, oops, oh no. Disappointment, oh, drat. Embarrassment, ahem, or. Pain, oh, oh, ouch. Disgust, ugh. Yuck, yaw. Surprise, yuck, oh, well, oh, yeah, wow. Yikes, really. Elation, elation means happiness. Hooray, ha, yippee, whoopee, hoo, hoo, hoo. So these are the types of interjections. Pleasure, yeah, hooray. Relief, hui, hua, phew. Boredom, blah, hoo, hum. So these are the types of interjections. Sorry for saying sentences. These are the types of interjections. Now some more words or some more examples from this topic, interjections. Interjections are words that show. Wow, oh no, blast. The audience called out bravo and encore. Ouch, that hurts. Greetings. Hello, said the voice in the darkened room. Hi, what's up? Agreement or disagreement? Sure. Nope. Okay, you bet. No chance. Some interjections are more like sounds than words. Yuck, phew, yikes, ugh, eck. So, you may feel sometime that some interjections are more like sounds than words. So, from this story, Wonderful Waste, there is no interjection. Yes, there is no interjection. You might get that one, lo and behold, that is the phrase or the group of words. So that's why I do not give you any question. I hope that you understand the story Wonderful Waste very well. If you still have any problem or any hesitation, or sorry, if you still have any problem, you can ask me without any hesitation. And another thing that I need to tell you, that please read everything and please study carefully at home. And next day we shall start another chapter from your English book. Till then, please stay carefully. Please stay safe inside your homes. Thank you very much to all of you. Thank you very much.